Test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2. And I'm sorry, but it's Lindy Schetzler. Stetzler. Sorry.
It's okay.
Good morning and welcome to Kerr Stadium for this afternoon's field hockey match between Roanoke College and Lebanon Valley of Pennsylvania. Lebanon Valley comes in with a record of 9-6 and 5-2 in their conference. Roanoke has a record of 4-10 and 3-4 in the ODAC. The starters for Lebanon Valley: a junior back, number 1, Melissa Brocious; a sophomore back, number 4, Nicole Vasilou; a senior back, number 12, Kelsey Miller; a senior forward, number 13, Kate Cusack; a sophomore midfielder, number 15, Lauren Brombach; a senior back, number 18, Bridget Monahan; a junior forward, number 19, Megan Harris; senior back, number 20, Megan Clark; a senior forward, number 23, Caitlin Vassy; and in goal, number 99, Chloe Barrow. And for Roanoke College, pretty much the usual suspects: a forward junior, number 2, Devin Huddleston; a defenseman sophomore, number 3, Lauren Hurley; a defenseman sophomore, number 5, Stacy Bechtel; a defenseman junior, number 6, Laura Stavetsky; a forward senior, number 13, Julianne Brown; a midfielder freshman, number 16, Allison Denton; a forward junior, number 17, Kelly Finn; a midfielder junior, number 20, Shannon McCarthy; a forward sophomore, number 21, Muriel Hunt; a defenseman freshman, number 22, Morgan Ryan; and in goal, number 43, Darian Shooker, a sophomore. And we'll be back with the play-by-play after the national anthem. This is Roanoke College field hockey. Welcome back to Kerr Stadium for the field hockey match this afternoon between Roanoke and Lebanon Valley. We have a quick correction on starters for the Lebanon Valley Dutchman. Number 21 is starting instead of number 20, and number 21 is Mandy Albright, a senior midfielder. And I'm pleased to be joined because it makes my job a whole lot easier with her familiarity with the game, by Lindy Stetzler, who's going to help us out on color this morning, going into the afternoon. And how are you today, and what do you see for this match?
Not bad. I think this is a great opportunity for the Maroons. Lebanon Valley comes in with the winning record, but the key is yesterday they played an overtime game, and it looks to me from everything I can read, they played about 68 minutes of field hockey. That's a quick turnaround in less than 24 hours to come back, and play that extra overtime session and then come and play again. So the Maroons need to take advantage of that and be able to go north to south and move the ball east to west as well.
Well, we'll see how they do as the teams are huddling with their coaches for final thoughts. And Lebanon Valley is coached by Carol Miller. And, of course, Roanoke is coached by Brianna Banks. And we're about ready to get underway here. Roanoke has one more home field hockey match this season, and it's Wednesday at 3:30 against league foe Randolph-Macon. So we'll look forward to that as Roanoke currently stands sixth in the seventh, and tied for sixth with Eastern Mennonite. Of course, they beat Eastern Mennonite, so that would put them sixth currently in the conference. As Lynchburg is undefeated at 6-0 and 12-3 overall, and certainly the class of the league. And we didn't mention, but that's who Lebanon Valley played yesterday.
Yeah,
was
it
Lynchburg.
is, and that's a pretty tough matchup to hold the number 17th ranked team in the country to 2 goals, take them to overtime. That's a great opportunity, but the Maroons need to capitalize on that and really get off to a quick start and be able to set the tone early in the game. So it'll be interesting to see if they can take advantage of that.
And the teams are now taking the field as we're about to get ready underway. And there's one thing that we noticed here at the beginning. We don't see Marceline Peak this afternoon.
Yes, and that could be a different struggle, but, the Maroons have some other people as well who can score and put the ball in the back of the cage. So
somebody will have to step up, and the Maroons are playing it. They're going to play it to the far side of the field. And it looks like Kelly Finn over there, leaving it back for Stacy Bechtel. And we have a whistle. And Roanoke's quickly going to play it. Stacy Bechtel over to the far side. And Kelly Finn's going to play it now. Roanoke is barely in their defensive half, and now they're in the offensive half as Kelly Finn takes it across, and it comes to Lebanon Valley. And this is number 21, Mandy Albright, and passes it back, and they try to send it down, and it's off a Roanoke foot, and Roanoke will play it in. And we have a whistle, and Lindy, it seems like early the teams are really feeling each other out.
They are. It's probably a little bit slower than the last time we watched them play against Eastern Mennonite. It seemed like we were a little quicker pace, but, they are kind of taking the time to figure out what each other's going to do and how people play as you see Lebanon Valley switch sides of the field. So this might be to the Maroons' advantage a little bit.
Shannon McCarthy comes up with it, leaves it back for Lauren Hurley. But it's going to be played in by Lebanon Valley, and this is Megan Harris. And another thing we mentioned very quickly is because of A, daytime, and B, uniform color changes, we can see both teams' numbers a whole lot easier.
Yes.
So
I don't feel like I have to go to the eye doctor this time around.
Well, that'll be my reason this time is going to be poor eyesight because the numbers can be seen. And Roanoke's going to play it in from deep in their defensive zone. Lauren Hurley trying to get it to Huddleston. And a step through and play down by Lebanon Valley. They try to center it into the box and get it past the stick of Julie Brown. Now they're able to put pressure on the defense and on Shooker, but the ball comes out.
The Maroons were lucky that time because they did have, I believe it was number 12 for Lebanon Valley, up there right on Shooker's pads with no defensive player there to mark her. So if they'd gotten the ball through, that might have been an easy shot.
And number 12 is Kelsey Miller. And now Roanoke is playing it down the far side of the field. Stacy Bechtel leaves it for Kelly Finn. And Kelly Finn's taking it down the far side in front of the benches. We have a whistle. Roanoke's going to continue playing.
See, it's a little crowded today. They're not as well spaced as I think either coach would like the teams to be. Seems to be about 4 people per the ball each time.
Is there a tendency, as you were saying, Lebanon Valley had a long match yesterday, and this is not only is it a second match today, but it's an early start.
Right.
Is there a tendency to kind of sleepwalk?
I think there is. You know, there's nothing like the 2-game weekend, especially on the road and one game's in overtime. So.
And the ball goes in front of the cage for Lebanon Valley, and Darian Shooker is able to play it out, and we're going to have a penalty corner for Lebanon Valley. And this looks like number 15, and this is Lauren Brombach taking the penalty corner. Teams are lined up. Brombach leaves it out. Roanoke trying to come up and mark, and the ball goes in the box, and they're putting pressure on Roanoke and Darian Shooker, and Shooker able to play it away. She alertly played that ball before he got into the near corner of the cage. Now coming out for Lebanon Valley, this is number 23, Caitlin Vassey. And again, they're putting a lot of offensive pressure on Roanoke's defensive box. Julie Brown trying to play it and get it out of there. And this is number 12 for Lebanon Valley, Kelsey Miller. And Julie Brown that time gets it away, and Brown's going to come down the near side. Poked out by Lebanon Valley. Going to be played in by Roanoke, and this is Julianne Brown.
And Brown's doing a great job of trying to get Roanoke to go with her. She's really trying to lead that charge. She applied defensive pressure. Okay, now hopefully they can get something going up the left-hand side of the field.
And we have a whistle. Lebanon Valley's going to play it in. And they try to center it, and again it comes up to the stick of Julie Brown, and she's able to briefly get it to teammates. And Lebanon Valley again trying to keep a tremendous amount of offensive pressure on Roanoke. Kelly Finn in there competing for it. And now Kelly Finn's going to leave it to the far side of the field for Stacy Bechtel, who comes back to Kelly Finn, and it's immediately taken away by Lebanon Valley. Again, Lebanon Valley able to keep it in their offensive third right now. And they're in the box trying to position for a shot.
There's a foul. And the one thing that the Maroons are going to see success doing, if they keep it on their sticks, right now we're kind of batting it away a little bit, giving ourselves too much space, and that's allowing Lebanon Valley to come up with the ball.
And we have another whistle toward the midfield area. And Lebanon Valley's going to play it, and they're going to reverse field over here to the near side. And it comes to number 19, and that's Megan Harris. And Julie Brown competes with Megan Harris for the ball, draws the whistle. Now Lebanon Valley again in the box.
That was great defense by
Lauren Hurley.
Lauren Hurley. Can't see that number yet. She stayed low and really kept the ball in front of her.
I'm starting to recognize the young ladies by hair color and headbands as well as numbers.
There you go. That's the way
only Roanoke, because Roanoke's the only team I've seen play 10, 12 times.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. That's the way to do it.
But
great ball possession by number 16, Allison Denton, as she tries to switch fields to the right-hand side for the Maroons.
And Allison Denton is in the lineup today for Marceline Peak. So Julie Brown now playing the ball over midfield, and Roanoke's going to get it in their offensive third. Julie Brown with it in front.
Great change of direction to really get rid of the defender or take some of the pressure away, and she's able to give a nice stick-to-stick pass outside, create hopefully an opportunity for the Maroons as they send it into the circle.
And Lebanon Valley gets it out of the circle, and here they come up the far side. And they're going to get it back in the midfield area, and this is number 13, Kate Cusick, coming down the field, and she's joined by number 12, Kelsey Miller, as they put a shot on Shooker, and a nice save by Darian Shooker, and Roanoke clears it away.
It was very well played both by Shooker as well as the defense Maroon. They stayed on their marks. They listened to what Shooker said. Really, she directed traffic, so she got that straight-on shot, and there was no chance for a deflection.
And Morgan Ryan was immediately able to play it out from the box after Shooker kicked it away. So Roanoke's going to play this 16 yards in front of their net, in front of their cage, and they leave it back for Stacy Bechtel. And she sends it up the far side. Julie Brown in there competing for it. And we have a whistle, and Lebanon Valley's going to play it. And this is number 4, Nicole Vasilou. And it comes back to Roanoke. 27 minutes remaining in the first half, and we have no score. And now Lebanon Valley playing it again, able to keep the ball in their offensive third. And we have a whistle as Kelly Finn was getting back and competing for that. And Roanoke's going to play it 16 yards in front of the cage. And they're playing it wide to the far side of the field. This is Stacy Bechtel leaving it up. And now Lebanon Valley's going to play it again after a whistle. And again, Lindy, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing right now where it's really Lebanon Valley's applying a lot of pressure, and they're taking advantage of the Maroons. We used to call it the plant and sweep, not really moving your feet, not adjusting to the ball, just kind of swinging at it as it's coming. As the Maroons have warmed up, the first 10 minutes or so, they've gotten better about that, and that's when they've created some offensive opportunities for themselves.
Lebanon Valley again has it in the circle. Roanoke's defenseman marking, and that's Morgan Ryan again in there, getting that ball out.
Great job there. She really kept it on her stick and tried to send it out, and Lebanon Valley was in the way.
And Morgan Ryan is just a freshman, so with good luck, we'll have her 3 more years.
Yeah, exactly. She plays very well. She always knows where her mark is. She's low to the ground. She has some great, fundamentally sound things for Coach Banks.
And Lebanon Valley playing it just outside the circle. And Roanoke again marking and getting the ball out.
Getting the ball out, but just too many there, crowding the ball a little bit. But they managed to force that second attempt wide, which is good. So hopefully off this restart, if it's quick enough, they can get something.
How would a team like to space their players as they're taking the ball out on restarts to get it up the field?
Now that you can do this quick restart, the teams that I've seen most successful and some of those top teams in the countries, it's a quick restart. The ball's there, they go, and they really maintain possession for about 5 yards, and then they send the pass because they force the defense to come to them. But when you wait here, and that is legal because it's into open space, that quick lift restart, and you'll see that a lot in international play. You're able to get something out of it. The other option is for that long hit, and you want to redirect it. So the timing of the cut as it goes off someone's stick to kind of redirect it to a different spot in the field.
Well, the quick lift restart put the ball in the circle and immediately put some offensive pressure on Roanoke. But again, the defensemen have responded well, and now Roanoke is playing it up the far side in the midfield area. Taken away by Lebanon Valley.
They still have it, and hopefully they can take advantage of this. They had a situation where it could have been a numbers-up situation for them offensively. So if they can get that going, I think that'll be to their advantage. And that seems to be how most of the Maroons' offense starts.
And this ball is going to come out to the near side of the field, and Shannon McCarthy's going to play it in for Roanoke. And McCarthy tries to send it down, and it hits the Lebanon Valley player.
And it is the Maroons' ball because number 12, I believe it is, for Lebanon Valley, Kelsey Miller stuck her stick in there as McCarthy went to swing. So it was off her stick and into her own player. So now it'll be the Maroons' restart, which that's just unfortunately the way it goes. I will say I flinched on that one. That was just.
I imagine you did. That was one of the first things I was told is, yes, if the ball hits your skin, it hurts. And you're going to know. So
it does. Here we go. It'll be a long hit for the Maroons, so hopefully they can get something off of this.
Long hit from the near side. Shannon McCarthy is going to put the long hit in play.
That was a good idea, but maybe just a different elimination rule around the weak side of the defender.
And again, Morgan Ryan alertly gets the ball on her stick as Lebanon Valley was trying to get it past midfield, and it gets away from Lauren Hurley, and now Lebanon Valley is going to streak down the field. And this is number 7, Laura James.
And Stacy Bechtel did a great job. She kept it wide, and the Lebanon and Stacy James Laura James, excuse me, she just tried to dish it wide into open space for a player to run onto, and that was a good defensive move.
When a team has the ball in possession near the circle,
Yeah.
how do they like to space their players effectively?
You want to be as wide as possible because, especially with the rule of it can't hit your feet, and the more people that are compacted into an area, the more chaos it creates and the more situation it creates for a foul. And sometimes, quite frankly, it probably hits 2 or 3 sets of feet before a call can be made, and you just don't want it to be yours because scoring opportunities in field hockey are few and far between.
And also because you had the players spaced wide, the defense has more area to cover.
Exactly. Defense has more area to cover. You might be out of the peripheral vision of the goalie, so she doesn't know where you are. So if a shot bounces off her pads, she controls it the wrong way. You can kind of step in to pick it up.
Roanoke going to play the ball here in the midfield area. Shannon McCarthy looking for Julie Brown. And Lebanon Valley steps through, and they're able to control briefly as the young lady, number 12, Kelsey Miller, gets it away from Roanoke defense. That was Laura Stavetsky trying to defend.
Right. And again, great defense by the Maroons. Come up strong with the ball. That's good. What really needs to happen for the Maroons is they need to take advantage of when it's on their offensive 50 so they can almost give their defense a little bit of a breather because Lebanon Valley has been challenging quite well for the first part of the game here.
Yeah, we're about 15 minutes in, and most of the game has been played in the Lebanon Valley offensive third, and the ball is across the cage as that was Kelsey Miller trying to send it to a teammate in the circle across Darian Shooker's face, and it went all the way back across the other side. Roanoke's going to play it in over there. And that looked like Morgan Ryan putting it in play and immediately taken away by Lebanon Valley. And pressure resumes. Now Kelly Finn has it for Roanoke, and she passes to a teammate up the far side.
Great job here. She's really keeping the ball going. And here's where the Maroons need to pressure, keep the ball up. What a great reach on the far side to keep that ball alive.
Is there an advantage to going down just one side of the field or trying to?
Typically, you'll see teams play mostly on the right-hand side of the field because that's your strong side. Because you can't use that rounded side of the stick, so you would have to reach over to do what's called a reverse on your left-hand side. And that's why, some forwards specialize on the left-hand side, being able to either get their feet around as the ball comes to them or being able to just redirect anything with the weak side, the reverse side of their stick.
Folks, I'm learning just like everybody else, and that's why I'm asking the expert here.
Well, I don't know about expert, just played it for a while, and it's changed. That's a great shot. She really maintained possession.
Roanoke now with offensive pressure, which is something that Lindy was talking about, to keep offensive pressure on and give their defense a blow as they're able to put some pressure on Lebanon Valley. Shannon McCarthy's going to play it in from the near side, long hit, and she immediately sends it toward the circle, but it's defended by Lebanon Valley, and they're coming out down the middle of the field.
You'll notice that Lebanon Valley is doing that whole east to west. They don't really play consistently on one side of the field. They're trying to get it on their right side of the field, and I'd look for them to send a strong cross, and here's the numbers up situation for Lebanon Valley. Let's see how the Maroons defend it. It's a great save by Shooker. Great defensive recovery.
I know this is a very elementary question, but as I just told the listeners, I'm learning just like everybody else. Does this make 100% of the field hockey players right-handed people?
No, actually, your left hand goes on the top of your stick, so if you're left-handed, you have stronger control, ideally. And, that's part of the reason. It's funny, I'm a left-handed person, and I've recently taken up golf, but I swing right-handed because that's the way the stick falls for field hockey, and I've played so long. So, and I think I'm better off just playing field hockey instead of trying to play golf.
So it's an advantage to have your left hand on the top of the stick, but you're still playing right-handed, essentially.
You are. Your left hand is what controls the stick. So it's on the top, and your right hand's kind of a guide hand. And it's really, a lot of successful people are right-handed. Probably, if you look at the United States Olympic team, they're all probably right-handed, but play with their left hand at the top of the stick, just the way it's fitted.
And Lebanon Valley again keeping a lot of pressure on Roanoke in front of the cage. Darian Shooker alertly staying after the ball, and I'm sure directing traffic for defensemen. And Lebanon Valley is going to get a penalty corner here.
And the Maroons were really lucky on that one. I thought Lebanon had a numbers up situation, there seemed to be a little bit of shift in the defense all to one side, to the ball side. And for some reason, there might have been a miscommunication between the girls, two girls that were open for Lebanon Valley, and whose ball it was.
And Laura Brombach plays the penalty corner, and it comes out in front of the circle. And Lebanon Valley tries to hit it back. It looked like a little bit of a mishit there.
Mishit, third party, basically, you know, if anybody watches basketball, you can't screen in field hockey.
Right.
That's what that third party call is. So,
okay.
And that's what it looked like it was there, but, or at least the official signaled for it.
So screens and pick plays are out.
They really are. You have to, it's something about how close your defender is to you have to give everybody an equal opportunity to be able to get to the ball, essentially.
Stacy Bechtel comes in, steps through, and intercepts a pass intended for number 10 for Lebanon Valley, Kristen Marzel.
And same there. You can't really do a post move in field hockey either. You can turn real quickly, but then you have to move. You can't just stand with it, your back between the player and the ball.
And the ball again in front of the Roanoke cage. And
good job by Brown and, Lebanon Valley. They tried to carry that end line and then dish it back to that sweet spot and hope somebody would put a stick on it, and it looked like someone tried to, but just wasn't successful.
Allison Denton now playing it in the midfield area and trying to go down that right side, as Lindy has brought to our attention earlier. And the ball stays in the middle of the field. Allison Denton still playing it. I noticed when Julie Brown was wide over here, which was the left side of the field, she immediately went for that diagonal pass to reverse field.
And switch the field. That's what they do, She's doing a good job. She's trying to shift the momentum, because the left side is our weak side offensively, but it's the defense's strong side. Mm-hmm. So you really want to be able to play to that advantage. Plus, you've got everyone running this direction. So if you shift it that way, it's kind of a change in direction in every sense of the word.
Roanoke playing it out now in the midfield area. And the ball goes out, and it's going to be left for Roanoke to play. And this is Shannon McCarthy sending it down.
That was a great idea, end line, just wasn't quite sideline, just wasn't quite received just right.
And Lebanon Valley playing from their right-hand side, which coming this way is the near side of the field. And we have a call, and Lebanon Valley is going to play it again, and this is number 19, Megan Harris. She puts it in, trying to put it in front of the cage on a stick.
It's nice redirection and one-on-one, and Sugar does a great job forcing it wide again. She's playing very well in goal and just kind of keeping traffic clear.
It seems to me that Darian Sugar really has had a great season.
She had, the key is, and even my goalie in college, Lindsay Paz, I'll tell you the key is just that bond between you and your defenseman. There's an automatic trust. I know if the ball went behind me, Lindsay was there to get it. And she's doing a great job directing traffic. I know I can't necessarily hear her, but you can just tell the way the shots fall and the way that defense moves that she's really telling people to either get out of her way and let her have the ball or to let them come up with the play.
And Lebanon Valley is going to play this one in. They're in their defensive zone as Roanoke was taking it down the right side of the field, trying to get it in their offensive zone. Julie Brown tries to step up and compete for the ball, and now Roanoke's going to play it. And Julie Brown immediately going over to the right side, trying to give herself some space.
She hit the ball back. That was a great move. She kept the ball on her stick while another defender just back tackled, which is illegal, and came up with the ball. So hopefully the Maroons can apply some more offensive pressure here.
We're approaching 13 minutes remaining in the first half, and we have no score.
So it's going to be a Maroon restart out at this dashed circle here.
What are the ideal things you're looking for on restarts?
On restarts, to me, especially with this, it doesn't have to be a standing hit. It needs to be quick, and you need to get it moving. Hopefully either pull it away to give yourself vision of the field or send it in quickly. In that situation, they sent it in and they had a cutter, but there were 4 blue jerseys there. So you kind of want to maybe pull it wide, dive it across, and then again, that's just my perspective. Coach Banks probably could have told him something else on how she wanted that restart.
So really on that restart, you have to credit the Lebanon Valley defense for having 4 players there.
They were there. They did exactly, that's a fundamental skill. As soon as there's a free hit situation, there should be 4 to 5 of you. We used to call it rings when I was in high school. There should be a first line of defense, a second line of defense, kind of semicircle, even like Lebanon Valley has right now.
And the ball went over the end line, and Roanoke's in, and Morgan Ryan is going to play it 16 yards in front of Roanoke's cage. And Lebanon Valley again getting the ball away and sending it toward Roanoke's cage. And again a step through by Lebanon Valley as they continue to keep offensive pressure on the Maroons. And Shooker has to kick that one away.
And the Maroons lucked out, and it looks like Brown just got nailed in the wrist on that one. Hopefully she's okay. But the official was holding her whistle for a penalty corner. So luckily Lebanon Valley came up with the ball.
And the ball goes out. And Lebanon Valley is going to play it. And this is number 1, Melissa Brocious. Leaving it for number 19, Megan Harris. And she plays it back to Brocious, and the ball's out. And that was off a Roanoke player. So it's played in by Lebanon Valley. And I think that was played a little bit too quick for the officials.
Yeah, that one's too high. She elevates it. And here's where you start to see signs of fatigue. If you don't stay low, the ball starts popping up. You're sending the ball high. And so you're starting to see that a little bit more on Lebanon Valley's restarts.
And Roanoke is playing it now in the midfield area. Kelly Finn immediately taking the ball to the right side. So the strong side of Roanoke's offense. And she tried to leave it back. And young lady number 10 for Lebanon Valley, Kristen Martzel, stepped through and made that play.
She did a great job baiting it, so to speak, and really letting Finn think that was a passing opportunity. See, as the Maroons pressure the ball, they're coming up with it, and I think that's the key for them is to just keep applying that offensive pressure every time a Lebanon Valley player has the ball.
And Lebanon Valley again trying to keep it in the circle. And that was Shannon McCarthy.
She did a great job getting her feet around, really receiving that ball. That was a great cross. And defensively, the Maroons did a good job of forcing it and making sure that a Lebanon Valley player couldn't get their stick on it.
And the ball's out. Lebanon Valley is going to play it in. And again, that high flip into open space, which last time put a tremendous amount of pressure on Roanoke's defense. This time, Laura Stavetsky gets back and plays it, leaves it for Lauren Hurley. And again, a step through by Lebanon Valley. And they're able to get the ball on their sticks. Roanoke still defending well.
Doing a good job. And here goes McCarthy. And she's really been a motor, her and Brown, in getting the offense going. So maybe they can apply some pressure here and get something going.
We have 8:50 remaining in the first half and no score between Roanoke and Lebanon Valley. And Lebanon Valley again trying to put it in the circle and get it to a teammate to direct it in the direction of Darian Shooker, but it goes over the end line.
These are all great opportunities, and the Maroons defense has played it well, but the one thing they have to do is create less of these opportunities for Lebanon Valley because that's just going to tire you out running those long balls down.
And Roanoke played it 16 yards in front of their cage, and now they have it in the midfield area, but again, it's on a Lebanon Valley stick, and it comes to Melissa Brocious as they're coming down the near side now, which is their right strong side, as they're going left to right this half.
Julianne Brown, again. Julianne Brown doing a great job applying pressure.
Kelly Finn trying to step in there, and again, Lebanon Valley putting it in the cage, and Darian Shooker kicks it out. And again, in the direction of Cray, another cross, and they were looking for number 19, Megan Harris, and she couldn't get her stick on it. Roanoke's going to play it 16 yards in front of their cage. Morgan Ryan sends it out. And it's going to go all the way down. It's going to go out wide, and Lebanon Valley will play it in.
So this is a great opportunity. So, yes, we didn't maintain possession, but now the Maroons need to keep that applied pressure here and keep it in their offensive 50, and it goes off McCarthy's foot, so it's going to be Lebanon Valley's ball.
So, if of course, that makes common sense now that I think about it, but if you send a long ball all the way down and it gets out, you want to bring your team up and lift your pressure.
Exactly. You don't want to give them that opportunity, and I think that's what Morgan Ryan's trying to do. She's trying to get that ball away from the defensive end of the field, kind of give her and the rest of the defense a little bit of a breather and say, hey, offense, come on, let's go.
Shannon McCarthy's shot went a little bit high, and it'll be played down by Lebanon Valley. Lebanon Valley now playing it just on their side, their defensive side of their 50. Melissa Brocious, she mishits the ball, but she's able to control it and send it down. Lauren Hurley trying to defend there. She successfully does and gets it to Shannon McCarthy. Roanoke trying to keep it
there, and that
on
was
the
a good
boundary.
Idea. Yeah. So now apply this pressure here. We're kind of standing and waiting. And it went off a foot, it looks like. Good. She's strong. She doesn't try and bat the ball. She's going to keep the ball on her stick. That's good, and play it out wide. So by Kelly Finn coming all the way back as a midfielder or a forward, she's created some offensive pressure for the Maroons, which is great.
That was a great play by Kelly Finn there in the back. And Lebanon Valley now with it, and they're trying to take it to their offensive right side. And that's number 7, Laura James.
So now apply this pressure here. Keep it there. They may have the ball, but at least keep it in that exactly. She may not have touched the ball defensively for the Maroons, but she forced that play wide, which is a great opportunity and hopefully a scoring opportunity for the Maroons.
And again, Roanoke trying to keep pressure now that they're in their offensive 50. Shannon McCarthy. And McCarthy was able to get a call there and control the ball, and she sends it down to Lauren Hurley. Lauren Hurley tries to cross it in the circle, and they get it on the goalie who kicks it away, and that's Chloe Barrow. And Lebanon Valley now trying to
force it out. Maroons are doing a good job of keeping that pressure. So here's this transition opportunity. The Maroons are really going to have to dig down deep and get back, and they're doing a great job of it.
And again, the Maroons control it. This is Kelly Finn trying to leave it for Julie Brown. We have a whistle and a very quick restart as Lebanon Valley gets it down. And Lebanon Valley now is going to pressure their circle. Going right at Darian Shooker and shooting it. Darian Shooker alertly with the save.
And I think it went right back into 22, but Morgan Ryan did a great job of forcing that ball end line. She didn't give her the easy shot. You know, the less percentage shot, obviously, Darian Shooker is right on the post. So it's harder for her, you know, the offensive player to be able to get that in the net.
And that was number 23, Caitlin Vesey. And Caitlin Vesey is taking a spill toward the turf.
I think she tried to lift it or flick it into Shooker's pads, and Darian did a great job. She just made the save, and that's just a natural reaction. The ball comes flying right back at her. I'm not sure where it hit her, but you did see her go down. It looks like the knee, hopefully, and not the head. Sometimes it's just the shock. You don't expect it to come back at you like that. Just like any other sport, you know, because she did go down, I think she has to go off because they called the time for her.
Well, I must say that's a good rule.
It is a good rule.
Kind of agree with it.
It is, and unlike, you know, basketball where there's a strategy of maybe you call a timeout to just give the kid an extra 30 seconds to catch their breath, kind of calm down. Field hockey, you get one timeout, so you don't really want to make that.
And we're going to have a restart here, and Lebanon Valley is going to restart it just outside the circle. Kelly Finn able to play it away from the young lady from Lebanon Valley.
That's a tough thing. That's an old school restart. It's called a bully. So you tap down, you tap up, and then you play the ball. And it doesn't happen. It used to be how you started every half, every single restart, but I don't think I've seen that in probably 10 years. Usually it requires some explaining as well to the players.
Sounds like a good exercise for the wrist and forearms anyway.
It is. It's an ice hockey face-off, essentially, is what it is. There's no other way to really describe it except that you have to do the tap motion, but it's the same type of positioning.
And
looks like a foul in the circle, and Lebanon
Valley's going to get a penalty corner.
Yeah.
And again, this is number 15, Lauren Brombach. She seems to be their designated penalty corner taker.
Which really is a skill. You'll notice how low she's going to do what's called a drag restart. She drags it out to the top, and it's quick, effective. That's a great shot on goal. Went off a defensive foot, maybe? Is that what they're calling? I'm not sure.
Anyway, it's going to be another penalty corner, as Darian Shooker was alert the first time. We're approaching 2.5 minutes in the first half, and we have no score. And another one of those drag plays that Lindy was just speaking of.
A great save by Shooker here. The defense is able to keep it wide. It's great.
Lebanon Valley tries to cross it in. And we're going to have another penalty corner.
So when you look and you notice when Brumback does this, it's not Brumback anymore, it's 18. So we got here Bridget
Moynihan.
When she does this, it's low to the ground, it's quick, it forces the defense to really not. It's probably more accurate than just hitting the ball out.
And the ball goes way high and over the end line.
Be a long hit because it was off of a Maroon defenseman's stick in the process. It was good pressure, good fly by the Maroons.
And again, Lebanon Valley, again trying to cross it and find a stick in front of the cage, and it goes all the way out the other side. And this is going to be a long hit from the Maroons.
Morgan Ryan looking for that long, she's trying to send it long up the sideline, which she's really had a lot of success with in creating the Maroons' offense today.
Now, do you feel like you have an advantage if you're starting from your right side of your field on a play like that?
It's much easier to receive the ball. You don't have to get your feet around. It's just a much more natural movement for your body. So instead of kind of trying to turn your feet, turn your head, being able to see over your right shoulder, it's much more, it's just naturally how you run, whether you had a field hockey stick or not.
Roanoke playing the ball 16 yards in front of their cage. They leave it for Lauren Hurley, and again, Lebanon Valley able to pressure immediately. And number 7, Laura James, tries the crossing pass. It goes out and over the end line. And Roanoke's going to play this ball 16 yards in front of the cage. And we're down to 20 seconds in the first half, and we have no score.
And the key for the Maroons is to just keep the ball moving. You don't want to create a foul situation where it could be a penalty corner because, like I said last time, you can't end on a penalty corner. So it's keeping the ball on your stick, and Shannon McCarty's doing a great job of this. She's in that no-man's zone and really doing a good job of just making sure that there's not going to be a foul committed.
And we've come to halftime, and we have a 0-0 tie at halftime between Lebanon Valley and Roanoke College. And we'll be back with halftime stats in the second half in a moment. This is Roanoke College Field Hockey.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Looking for great food and the big game in high def? Try the new menu items at All Sports Cafe, including thick and juicy burgers grilled to perfection, served with fries and your choice of any side item. All Sports Cafe, where the object is to score great food.
For information or schedules on Valley Vision TV programs, visit us on the internet at valleyvisiontv.com. Remember, you're watching the Valley's only true local network, Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Welcome back to Kerr Stadium for this morning morphing into afternoon field hockey match between Roanoke College and Lebanon Valley. And before we start the second half, Lindy's going to give you some halftime stats.
All right, starting off first for the visitors, the Lebanon Valley. They had 11 shots, 8 on goal, and their goalkeeper made 1 save. The breakdown is number 4, Nicole Vassilou, 1 shot, which was also on goal. 13, Kate Cusack, 1 shot, also on goal. And then 15, Lauren Brunback, who you saw taking most of the penalty corners with 2 shots, 1 of which was on goal. 23, Caitlin Vassy, 2 shots, 1 on goal. 7, who came in off the bench for Lebanon Valley, Laura James, 2 shots, 2 on goal. Number 10, Kirsten Martzel, 2 shots, 1 on goal. And 24, Kelty Wellen, 1 shot, which was also on goal. For the Maroons, they had 3 shots, 1 of which was on goal. And Julianne Brown had 1 shot. And 16, Allison Denton had 2 shots, 1 shot on goal. And, of course, you have to mention, Brett, that Darian Shucker had a great first half with 8 saves. So hopefully the Maroons can get a little bit more offense going this time.
Darian Shucker continues her solid play, which we've seen all seasons. We're about ready to get the second half underway. And, Lindy, what are you looking for in the second half?
I think hopefully that Coach Banks addressed in the halftime spiel that when Maroons applied pressure constantly, they created some sort of an offense, and it was in their 50. The key for the Maroons is going to be for more of it to be an offensive game and to kind of take some of that pressure. You can only, as a defense, withstand so much pressure for so long, and Lebanon Valley did a great job of applying that pressure that whole time. You would have never guessed they had played an overtime game to start with yesterday. So.
And we get back underway as Lebanon Valley plays it in, and again, the high shot, but into the open field. So
as long as it's not into someone, you're good to go, and that's a great opportunity to apply that pressure early on.
As the ball goes out the far side in front of the benches.
And Lebanon Valley off to a quick start as they already forced a penalty corner for the Maroons, or for themselves, and Maroons are on defense right from the get-go.
And who do we have? We have 18 taking this penalty corner.
So it's Bridget Mohegan. So you look for that drag, and she's setting herself up for a drag restart. So it's going to stay on the ground. It's going to be quick and effective, and I'm guessing it's probably going to the top of the circle. She bumps it into play, and it's great fly by Shannon McCarthy. She kept the ball from being that direct shot on goal.
And Roanoke playing it down the far side. Stacy Bechtel was after it.
So here comes Lebanon Valley with the restart, and it looks like they're trying to move it, kind of switch fields.
And Julie Brown plays that out.
Great job there. Really keeping it in front of her, keeping her feet moving, staying low.
And we have a whistle, and Lebanon Valley is going to resume playing it, and they're trying to send it toward the cage.
Ball's on their stick. Let's see, the Maroon defense does a good job poking it wide, and there's Morgan Ryan really trying to force it wide to Shannon McCartney. She does a good job. Hopefully the Maroons can get something going here.
And Julie Brown gets it on her stick as she's trying to turn and get the ball in Roanoke's offensive half. Again, a step through and taken away by Lebanon Valley, and that's number 4, Nicole Vassilou. Lebanon Valley again with the pressure.
The Maroons are trying to get it out wide. They're doing some good things, but once again, it's on the Maroons' defensive 50. Hopefully. Julianne Brown, good job. She really steps into that pass. It's kind of half a pass, half a dribble from Lebanon Valley, but unfortunately runs out of real estate there on the left sideline.
And Lebanon Valley again playing it. Now they're over to the near side. As they reverse field, they try to get it on the cage. And it comes to number 7. And Lebanon Valley is able to stick it in. That was a deflection off of the shot by number 7, Laura James. But it was deflected after it went off James's stick. Did you see the number?
I want to say it was number 19 for Lebanon Valley, Megan Harris. She was over on that far post because they did a great job on. Darian Schecker made the initial save. 7 redirects it, and then they go. I'm not sure why the Maroons restarted when she was tying her shoe, but
anyway, Lebanon Valley scores, and again, we believe it's number 19, Megan Harris, on the tip in. And off of the stick of Laura James. So with 31:27 remaining in the second half, it's now Lebanon Valley 1 and Roanoke 0.
And here's that first 5 minutes, after a goal, this is that opportunity where, you're still kind of celebrating in your head, and hopefully the Maroons can capitalize on this and create some offensive pressure on Lebanon Valley to maybe return the favor.
And the ball comes out wide. It's going to be played in by Lebanon Valley, and this is number 15, Laura Brombach. And a nice pass looking for number 4 there, Vesalou.
She dished that to number 12, and 12 definitely had the opportunity. Kelsey Miller there. I want to say that's 12. My eyesight right? Yeah, it is 12. She had the opportunity there, but the defense did a good job of forcing it wide.
For those of you watching this afternoon, and of course there's no cameras on us, and that's probably a good thing for me anyway, but just as a light aside, we both wear corrective eyewear, so the numbers sometimes are a little bit hard to...
Exactly.
Lebanon Valley now playing it in on the near side, and this is number 15, Brombach, and she sends it down the line. Roanoke tried to step in front there. That was Stacy Bechtel, and Brombach's going to play it again. Now, one thing I've noticed there, Lindy, Brombach is taking her time before playing it in, overlooking.
She is, I think, and she does a good job with it because if you notice on her restarts, once she gets going, she waits to see what lane opens up, where she can go, where she can't. She has very good field vision, which is something that isn't as common and needs to probably be more common. But she sees where the opening is, and she can kind of tell, almost like she has a second instinct, where she should be with the ball.
And Lebanon Valley with another drag penalty corner.
That was good. They bumped it and then faked the hit and sent it out wide. And defense did a good job of forcing it wide again. Hopefully on this quick restart, the Maroons can come up with it for Lebanon Valley.
And again, that was Bridget Monahan.
Oh, and here we go. The Maroons have got to take advantage of this opportunity here. And it looks like tracking it down.
And Lebanon Valley's defense gets back.
But the Maroons still maintain. She called that third party, that little moving screen, if you will, for those of you who watch basketball out there. The Maroons did a good job of getting right up there. So hopefully they can keep it down on this end for a little bit.
Yeah, for those of you familiar with other sports in football, it's a moving pick, and Roanoke puts the ball in the goal. Roanoke scores to tie it up as they got a crossing in front of the cage there, and it goes in the near side corner to tie it at 1.
That was within that first 5 minutes after scoring. Great transition. All started way back. I believe it was Morgan Ryan who just sent that long ball. And number 21 for the Maroons, Marielle Hunt, tracked it down. So hopefully the Maroons can keep up the pressure.
And Shannon McCarthy is credited with that goal. So Shannon McCarthy with the goal that ties us up. We got 28 minutes remaining in the second half now. 1-1 tie. And
so off the defender's foot on that hit there in the circle. So now comes this 5 minutes for the Maroons. Within 5 minutes of scoring, you've got to hold strong. You can't, because that goal was quite remarkable. The transition there, the great deflection. So now they've got it. Lebanon Valley has a penalty corner. The Maroons have to come out strong.
And Bridget Monahan is going to have another drag penalty corner. And she drags it out to the top of the circle.
And it's a miss hit, so now the Maroons need to capitalize on this opportunity as they're getting back in transition, hopefully.
Shannon McCarthy got a stick on that one. But we're going to have another penalty corner as we have a foul in the circle.
Exactly. So this is really where your adrenaline's running the opposite direction. So hopefully McCarthy can have a good fly here and break something up for the Maroons. The trail should step up here.
And again, there's a goal from Lebanon Valley, as that time they took advantage of the penalty corner, and that's number 1, Melissa Brocious, with that goal.
And that was the first time we've seen them dump the ball to the weak side. And the trail for the Maroons, you'll notice there's 4 defenders back besides the keeper. There's the fly, that first crazy person, if you will, that runs right out after the initial shot. And then there's the trail, who's kind of weak side. And it was almost like because they switched sides, the Maroons weren't sure who should have stepped up and applied pressure there.
And Kelly Finn is going to play this one in. She's joined by Muriel Hunt. She has Stacy Bechtel in the back as Lebanon Valley is competing on Kelly Finn's stick for the ball. And that's number 7. And that's Laura James. And Lebanon Valley sends it down, but it goes out. They tried to send it up the line. And now Roanoke's going to play it in. 26-23 remaining in the second half. Lebanon Valley 2, Roanoke 1. And the ball comes down.
Keep applying that pressure. They're doing a good job. Both groups are applying pressure to each other fairly well right now.
So I guess we've now entered another 5-minute period for Lebanon Valley that you were talking about.
And we'll see if the Maroons can capitalize on that 5-minute period again. It's just that time when typically most goals happen. It's usually the first 5 minutes after someone else, the opposite team, scores.
And we have a foot violation for Lebanon Valley and a whistle. Roanoke College is going to have a free play here, restart. And they send it to Kelly Finn. And immediately the ball is taken away from Kelly Finn. That's a nice play from Lebanon Valley's number 15, Laura Brombach. And Lebanon Valley now trying to sit it in front of the cage once again.
And a good step up by that weak side defender. And Julianne Brown as well, as she takes the ball out of the circle, and hopefully there's a transition here. Finn can make something happen up the sideline. Good defense by number 24, Kelsey Wallen for Lebanon Valley. She really stayed low, gave the Maroons no option of where to go.
Got the ball off the stick of Muriel Hunt. And now Roanoke playing it in the back, Stacy Bechtel, and again, number 24, Kelsey Wallen.
And here we go, as we've got number 2, Devin Huddleston, applying pressure. You know, that's the second time she's been called for that little push as she goes for the ball. She's got to be careful here. She doesn't end up with a green card. She's just being aggressive. There's nothing wrong with it, and every official calls it differently. So
and Lebanon Valley now again applying pressure in front of Roanoke's cage. And Roanoke's defense gets back, gets the ball on their stick, and sends it out wide.
That was good defense. They still did a great job of just maintaining it and keeping it wide. But Lebanon Valley, if you noticed on that, Brett, spread the field very wide. There was a lot of movement, people running different directions. That's ideally what you want as a coach from your team.
They get the ball right in front of the cage, and they get it on their stick, and they put it in the back of the cage again as they got it around Darian Shooker.
This is, what you would expect Coach Banks to call a timeout here. 3 quick goals, essentially, within probably 10 minutes of each other. I'm not sure. But here, Lebanon Valley carried it down to that end line and dished it sweet spot. That middle stroke, if you will, 7 yards out in front of the cage. And the Maroon defense did a great job carrying it out on the initial shot. But then you turn around and Darian Shucker's out of place because instead of just carrying the ball strong on your stick, they tried to send it, and they sent it right back into Lebanon Valley's offensive player. And Shucker was almost kind of screened out of what was going on with the ball. So
23:48 remaining in the second half. It's Lebanon Valley 3 and Roanoke 1. And as Lindy has said, Coach Banks has called a timeout to try to reorganize her team. And we're still trying to get a confirmation on that last goal.
I think it was 12 again, but I'm not positive if it was Kelsey Miller or not. I want to say she was right up top there. She's doing a great job of sneaking in.
So Kelsey Miller, who got the ball right in front of Roanoke's defense and right in front of Darian Shooker, and was able to put it in the left corner to give them the 3-1 lead.
I think what Coach Banks is looking for here out of the timeout is maybe some composure, not necessarily playing so much in a rush, if you will, but just being cool and composed the whole time through, but also keeping the ball on their stick. When the Maroons do that and they don't just hit it to no man's land, they're successful. They come up with some shot opportunities. It's in Lebanon Valley's, defensive half of the field, and it gives the defense a blow. They can't play defense the whole time and win a game. So we'll see how the Maroons start on this restart here from the 50.
And here comes the restart as the teams break their huddle. Once again, 23:48 remaining in the second half. Roanoke playing it in.
There you go. She does a great job keeping the ball on her stick, Allison Denton does, to start off with, and hopefully the Maroons can maintain that pressure.
And now Lebanon Valley playing it to the wide side of the field.
Good stick-to-stick passing. And let's see if McCarthy can start something up here, as she has a couple times for the Maroons.
And Lebanon Valley immediately got after Shannon McCarthy and got their stick on the ball, and they send it in the general direction of the box. And it's over the end line. And it's going to be a penalty corner for Lebanon Valley. I'm sorry, it's going to be a long hit for Lebanon Valley.
Long hit. Let's see, and this time, this half Lebanon Valley's done a little bit better job.
And we have a whistle.
And it looks like Devin Huddleston, like I said, I think she's just being aggressive. I don't think she's intentionally trying to go for anyone. She has a green card, which I believe now, it used to be just a warning when I played, but now is 5 minutes, and you play a man down, which is not what the Maroons were looking for in this situation.
Not making fun of the game here or anything, but it seems a little strange you would choose a green card for that. Green meaning other things in our society.
Right, exactly. Used to be, let's see, when I was in high school, it was yellow and red, and yellow was 10 minutes down, and red was an ejection, and there was only like a verbal warning. And then they introduced the green card because officials were using it differently, and then the green card was just a warning, and they've since changed it to 5 minutes, and then yellow card is 10 minutes, I believe.
So we still have yellow and red cards in the game.
Yeah,
they just weren't implied in that situation.
Yeah, it's just a progression, and it's a little tough to. I mean, the card's like, maybe one by one. It's not a very large card, so you wouldn't be able to see it quite as well.
And that shot came from beyond the cage, so Roanoke will play it 16 yards in front. And unfortunately, Roanoke trails 3-1 with 21:26 remaining in the second half.
That was into someone. That was a good move, but that was just into someone's stick. So Lebanon Valley will get the ball back.
Again, Lebanon Valley does seem to be keeping offensive pressure in their third of the field, though, their offensive third.
They've done a very good job there. I think they started out a little slow, and we're still getting some offensive pressure, but they've really spread the field well. They're always on the move, and it's making it harder and harder for the Maroons' defense to keep pace. Turn, and the Maroon defense comes out with it. See if they can create something now. Huddleston was playing that high forward for the Maroons, so it'll be interesting to see how for the next 2.5 minutes or so that she has to sit out, how the Maroons adapt, like where they're going to apply their pressure, how they change their lineup from there. And it all has to be done on the fly. It's not like basketball where you can call a timeout to adjust or adapt to the situation.
I don't know how many games you were able to see before you joined me in the booth before last game, but do you think the Maroons missed Marceline Peak today?
I do. I think she creates a lot for them, but I also think Huddleston was doing a great job as well, getting up there and really causing havoc. I think just the difference is really being able to have that extra break. You look over at Lebanon Valley's sideline, and they probably have 10 substitutes. And that's a great save by Shooker, by the way, as she goes down. She did an excellent job of doing that, and the defense carried it off her pads. But, Lebanon Valley has 10 subs. There's something to be said with playing this one up like Coach Banks does, who is constantly applying pressure, to be able to give them breaks and to be able to rotate who that one person is. I think that extra body sometimes helps, and she had great stick work. She created some shots on goal and applied pressure when it was down at the 50.
Hey, Darian Sugar did make a great save the last time there was a lot of pressure by Lebanon Valley. A great save in front of the cage, and Lebanon Valley now playing in the midfield area. I was going to ask you about that too, because I noticed at halftime Lebanon Valley's numbers are a whole lot. They've got a whole lot more numbers than Roanoke does.
And that's just a thing, I've put on teams where there's been 16 of us and you play 11 on the field. You have to be in one of the best physical fitness shapes of your life. There's no doubt about it. They say the average player in field hockey runs about 3 miles during the course of a game. So you have to have the ability to constantly be on the move and not tire easily.
And we have a foot foul on Lebanon Valley, and Roanoke is now playing with it down in front of Lebanon Valley's circle. Lebanon Valley gets it out of there. Have another whistle.
And a great job by Allison Denton to keep that applied pressure, keep the ball on her stick, and create this long hit for the Maroons.
Julie Brown's going to take the long hit, and she keeps the ball on her stick. And it's taken away by Lebanon Valley as they try to send it up. And again, getting a stick there in a pass intended for Julie Brown, but Julie Brown battles back and gets control of the ball.
I'm not sure how that was a no call because she did a great job keeping applying.
And again, Lebanon Valley able to send it out and keep it in there. And here they go quickly toward the box. Shooker has to come out, and they tried to have a cross pass left for a teammate. The ball goes over the end line.
And that was a great numbers up situation, but very well executed by Shooker. She came out. She timed it right when she was going to come out. And luckily for the Maroons, to some extent, there was no one there to be able to get their stick on the ball on that weak side post.
And Lebanon Valley's going to play it in after the ball goes out on the near side. And this is Lauren Brombach. And she plays it back, and the ball is missed by the Lebanon Valley player, so it's going to go way back in the Roanoke zone. And it's played over by Lebanon Valley. Now they have the ball in midfield area, and they turn, and they're going to put pressure on Roanoke's defense again.
And you'll notice Huddleston is back in the game for the Maroons, so now there's no numbers up situation for Lebanon Valley. So hopefully the Maroons are able to capitalize on this situation and create a little bit more pressure.
That was the other thing I was going to ask you for the novice. Is there on the card system, is there a level of, like, if Huddleston does the same thing, is that a yellow card because
right,
she already has the green card?
It's very similar to soccer. It has been recorded, so if she does the same thing in a game, it should be 10 minutes I believe is the next for a yellow card, and you go man down. If the officials feel that it's with malice intent, so to speak,
they can eject you.
They can eject you.
Yeah.
They don't have to wait for a green or a yellow or a red card.
So you can't come back in the game and just commit the same foul is what I was getting at.
This is your warning. This is your opportunity to change what you've done. And I think, like I said, I don't think she's doing it with any intent. I think she's going aggressive for the ball, and she's stopping, and the defender is keeping going. And that just, sometimes it's a body control situation. So 21 for the Maroons. Marielle Hunt's doing a great job of really keeping this, pushing the ball forward, applying that pressure, keeping the ball on her stick.
Muriel Hunt now brings it to the offensive 54, Roanoke. They cross over in front looking for Julie Brown. And Julie Brown comes up with it and has to give herself some space in order to control the ball.
She sends it down, and there's Huddleston right there. So hopefully maybe the Maroons can carry this in somewhere and get a shot opportunity off of it.
Shannon McCarthy trying to put it in front. And sent out by Lebanon Valley. Approaching 15 minutes remaining in the second half, and it's 3-1 Lebanon Valley.
Lebanon Valley sends it up the sideline there, and the Maroons are doing a good job. They just need to maintain that pressure consistently.
And Lebanon Valley has now gotten out of their 5-minute period that you talk about after their third goal.
Right. See, here's a situation. Huddleston did a great job. She went for the ball, and in my opinion, she got bumped a little bit on the end. She's trying not to get herself in that situation again, and that's kind of as a player mentally where the card system messes you up a little bit. And there are certain players, and not saying Lebanon Valley does this, but there's certain players that will go after.
Because they realize you've already gotten the green card.
Exactly, they realize that, and there's been a couple situations where I had some teammates that happened to as well throughout college.
Shannon McCarthy is going to play the penalty corner for Roanoke, and she hits it out, sends it to the top of the box, and Laura Stavetsky gets a stick on it, and it's a whistle, and Lebanon Valley is going to play it out. Lebanon Valley now trying to turn field again and get the ball in their offensive end. And the ball is out off of Lebanon Valley, will be played in by Roanoke. This is Laura Stavetsky. I'm sorry, it was Stacy Bechtel. Bechtel to Julianne Brown, and again, Lebanon Valley able to play it down and play it away.
Look at that speed by 28. 13, Kate Cusack sends it to 28, and by sends it, I mean sends it. She sends it down off the end line, and it's the Maroons' ball, but, 28 is probably 3 steps away from it being on her stick.
Now, does the team realize with a certain goal lead and a certain amount of time left in the game, are they just sending the ball long on purpose to keep it out of their?
Yeah, ideally, I think as a coach, you would like to be some kind of control, some possession. We don't need to do this. We need to kill the clock. But field hockey is one of those games that just because you have a 2-goal lead, like we saw earlier with that quick scoring back and forth, it doesn't mean anything. So the goal when you're up is you just want to maintain possession. And if you have the opportunity to go for it. So hopefully there is a sense of urgency from the Maroons. And a lot of that, in all honesty, direction comes from the goalkeeper because they can see the clock, they can see consistency, they can spread the word about what needs to happen.
And again, Lebanon Valley putting a lot of offensive pressure on the Maroons, but unable to get the ball in the cage as they're shooting the ball beyond the end line. And Roanoke is playing the ball 16 yards in front of their cage, and it comes to Julie Brown. And she sends it over as Roanoke was trying to come down the right side again. And nice defense by Lebanon Valley. That's number 15, Lauren Brumbach. Approaching 12 minutes remaining in the second half. 3-1 Lebanon Valley. And again, they have the ball in front of Roanoke's cage with pressure on.
And it's deflected, so Maroons have to come out with it. Great save by Shooker.
Again, a lot of pressure on the cage, and Darian Shooker up to the task there, knocking that out.
And good job by Julie Brown. She got back. She was able to create that foul for Lebanon Valley so they can go. And here's Morgan Ryan trying to send it out to kind of give that pressure. The defense for the Maroons have taken quite a few, minutes. A lot of time this game has been defense.
Morgan Ryan trying to send it down, but it goes out, and Lebanon Valley is playing it back now. And again, there's a lot of offensive pressure from Lebanon Valley and their offensive third of the field. That's pretty much been a theme of this afternoon's game. They're trying to cross the ball in front of the cage now. Can't quite get it there. Nice defense by Roanoke. Again, they try to send it out. Lebanon Valley keeping a couple of players back, and they step up to play and send it back in.
And notice, Lebanon Valley does a great job every possession. The ball is on their stick. It's not 5 feet out in front of them. They're really doing a great job this half. You didn't really see it as much the first half of keeping it on their stick the whole time. So that shot, now here the Maroons need to get into place and really keep the ball down in this end of the field. This is a great opportunity, especially with this miss. I think she was almost trying to lift it into the air there, number 1. We'll see if she tries it again here. So Lebanon Valley gains control of the ball again, and it's about to go wide. 28's trying to track it down again.
And we've gone below 10 minutes in the second half. 3-1 Roanoke. Roanoke trying to play it back, and it comes to Lebanon Valley's number 13. And that's Kate Cusick.
And a shot on goal, and, you had 28 coming from the top. You had 10 on the post, and it went just wide off the weak post. So now the Maroons need a quick start. This is where it's tough because you've now taken, essentially 25 minutes where it's been mostly defense. And you need that sense of urgency, that quick restart to get you going again. That's a good send up the line. Just ran out of real estate for the Maroons.
And Lebanon Valley's going to play it in. And they play it back across.
So Huddleston's there, and hopefully McCartney, there she comes up with her, and hopefully we're going to apply a little pressure here.
Lebanon Valley able to send it all the way down and get it on a Lebanon Valley stick. And now they're in front of the Roanoke cage again.
And it's another shot, and what happened over there and why the foul was created is Lauren Hurley. She did a great job. Oh, she took that right in the wrist. That's not good. She will have to go off the field. Stacy Bechtel did a great job applying pressure, and the girl's stick came up and got her just right on the wrist.
So if I ever, out of curiosity, want to have somebody hit me with a stick or a ball, I need to have a trainer with me.
I would. There's definitely some indentations, and probably most field hockey players can tell you this. Now they have this harder shin guard. When I was a kid, they had this soft, it was foam. Why we wore it is beyond me. But, there's a couple times I've taken a stick to the shin. I think I still have the indentation. So I think if I were out there, there'd be quite a bit more.
Lebanon Valley getting ready to play a penalty corner. Again, they're going to play that drag penalty corner. And they send it to the top and send it around. Ball goes high.
Too high. And off a penalty corner, it can't be above 18 inches, which is that baseboard, if you will. And that's just considered a danger thing.
Right. So the goal has to hit the baseboard.
Right, but I think the question is whether the initial shot was raised, because if the initial shot was raised, it will not count. Or if it went off a stick and was deflected, and it did go off a stick and was deflected, so they're calling it a goal. And so that's why there was that timeout.
It is a goal for Lebanon Valley, and they stretch their lead to 4-1, and we'll try to get a credit on that goal.
And I think the big thing here is the officials owe both ends an explanation. Obviously, Lebanon Valley's going to take the goal and run with it. But, Coach Banks probably wants one because that was a tough angle. So, and they did have to confer about whether that was a goal or not.
And that's credited to number 1, Melissa Brocious, for the fourth goal. So it's 4-1 Lebanon Valley. We have 8:10 remaining in the second half.
So here Lebanon Valley comes again. 13 with that speed. She's going to carry it and line and eliminates her defender. Good job, defense, by being able to step up there. But it did go off a defender's stick. It'll be a long hit for Lebanon Valley.
So Lebanon Valley, again, the theme of today's game was them being able to keep the ball in their offensive third of the field and being able to keep pressure on Roanoke's defense.
Exactly. It just hasn't quite connected. It's really connected this half for Lebanon Valley, and there were moments where it has connected for the Maroons.
Well, we spoke about that earlier. That may have been the slow start from playing yesterday.
Yeah, it has. They've really, to their credit, they've come off well in the second half, really jump-started, and that's a tough thing to do. 2 games on the road, one of which is overtime. And sometimes that overtime fires people up as well, because there's a lot of opportunities that could have happened yesterday. You never know unless you saw the game. And
Lebanon Valley trying to play it, and there's a whistle. And Roanoke's going to play it 16 yards in front of their cage. 6:40 remaining in the second half. And the ball goes all the way down.
It's not going to quite run out of bounds, so hopefully Huddleston and Denton can create something here on the double team. And they force the defender to make the play wide, which is good. So now it can be a Maroon restart. The official's saying that it was off a Maroon stick.
So Lebanon Valley's going to play it in. And they're trying to send it up the field, and Julie Brown gets her stick on it. Julie Brown trying to play it here.
That should have been, and it was. There was that moving screen we talked about earlier. Julie Brown did a great job of trying to eliminate her defender.
Kelly Finn tries to play it, and that's a little bit of a miss hit there. Allison Denton.
Good applied pressure here by the Maroons, and this is what they need to keep going for the next 6 minutes.
And Lebanon Valley, in that case, seemed to keep 2 defenders on the ball.
They have, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can double team. There's a couple tactics defensively. It just depends on your philosophy as a coach on how you want things played. Some coaches will even play a zone defense, if you will, versus a man-to-man defense.
And the ball is going to be set up by Lebanon Valley across the midfield area on the far side. And here they come back down.
And a great defensive move by Hurley there, who stepped up and took it off the Lebanon Valley's defender's stick to eliminate the fast break situation or the numbers up situation.
And we have another whistle.
This is a goalie substitution. Okay, so it does have to be a dead situation when that happens. So you have 77 coming in for Cassie Wallen, senior goalie, I believe, coming in for Lebanon Valley, and number 1, Candace Fisher, a sophomore for the Maroons, coming into the net. You'll have some other substitute. Every other substitution is on the fly, if you will. It doesn't have to be a dead situation.
And the ball's back in play as Lebanon Valley again able to play it.
Good save by Fisher. She does a good job, and now Maroon defense needs to settle down here and keep applying pressure like Brown's doing.
And Lebanon Valley again keeping it to the top of the circle. Roanoke trying to play it out and get it on their stick. And Roanoke's going to have a continuation in play here.
Great job by Huddleston. Good defense by 24. Huddleston had done a great job up to that point, applying pressure, keeping the ball on her stick.
And number 24 for Lebanon Valley is Kelsey Wallen. And I would bet even money that Cassie and Kelsey are sisters.
Probably.
So
I would.
So we have one goalie and one defenseman. And this is going to be a corner for Lebanon Valley.
To see, and they're going to do that drag flick, and we haven't seen Nicole Vasily do this yet. So we'll see how the corner situation works out.
And they get it in front, but it goes over the end line, and Roanoke's going to play it 16 yards in front We have 3:20 remaining in the second half. The score is 4-1, Lebanon Valley.
See where Morgan Ryan just looking to go wide to Kelly Finn, and Kelly's going to carry it here, which is good. So now hopefully the Maroons can keep that pressure up as it goes onto Lebanon Valley's stick.
Well, you have to give Lebanon Valley credit, especially in the second half. They really have came out with a plan and stuck to it.
They have. They've executed well. You know, penalty corners have created goals, and that's a great situation for Lebanon Valley. And you know, I'm sure they're probably wondering where that was yesterday as well.
And we're down below 2.5 minutes now. In the second half, Julie Brown playing the ball out. Julie Brown's going to carry it. Now she's in the offensive 50 for Roanoke.
And a great send. Let's see if Huddleston can, and number 30, Mayer, comes up with the stop there.
Lebanon Valley sending it back into their offensive end. That was a good effort by Muriel Hunt and Julianne Brown, but they weren't quite able to keep it on their sticks and get a shot at goal.
There's Morgan Ryan again with that long send-off, and I really think once that could connect, and when it has connected, it's worked well for the Maroons to create an offensive situation. A good job by Hunt. She applied pressure, but the Lebanon Valley girl came up with the ball.
And Julie Brown gets back and turns to play it. And Morgan Ryan sends it all the way down. And it is going to go over the end line and be played out by Lebanon Valley 16 yards in front of their cage. 1 minute remaining in the second half, 4-1 Lebanon Valley.
And here, if you're the Maroons, you just want to keep this applied pressure for the last minute so you have something working in your favor going into Tuesday's match against Randolph-Macon. That's exactly what you want. You've got a penalty corner, so now you need to be able to execute it. Remember, you can't end on a penalty corner. It does have to be cleared outside the dotted hash. So if you're the Maroons, you're using the clock to your advantage. And if a penalty corner comes off another one, you keep going until the penalty corner is played out all the way through.
And here's the penalty corner.
McCarthy with the hit.
Played to the top of the box.
There's about 7 seconds left here.
And that's going to do it. It's going to be 4-1 Lebanon Valley. And we'll be back in a moment as the final score is Lebanon Valley 4 and Roanoke College 1. And we'll have final stats and a word from Coach Brianna Banks. This is Roanoke College Field Hockey. Once again, welcome back to Kerr Stadium as we have some final stats from this afternoon's field hockey match between Roanoke College and Lebanon Valley. The final score was Lebanon Valley 4 and Roanoke College 1. And Lindy's going to help me out with some final stats.
All right. First of all, probably for the goals here, you had Lebanon Valley with Lindy Schaefer, the assist coming from Laura James. And that was the first of the scoring to start. And then the Maroons responded about 3 minutes later with a goal from Shannon McCarthy, the assist from Marielle Hunt. And then the next 3 goals were by Lebanon Valley, and there no response or scoring coming back from the Maroons. The first from Melissa
Brocious.
And it's assisted by Lauren Brumback. And then Lindy Schaefer comes up with another goal, and it's unassisted. And once again, Melissa Borsis off an assist from Lauren Brumback. So if you look at the situation, Lebanon Valley ended up with 11 penalty corners to Roanoke's 2, and they had 24 shots on goal versus Roanoke's 4. Breakdown-wise, Melissa Borsis, she had 2 shots, 2 on goal, and both of which were goals, which is a great percentage for Lebanon Valley. And then you had Nicole Vassilou with 2 shots, 2 of which on goal. Kate Cusack with 2 shots, 1 on goal. Lauren Brumback, 3 shots, 2 on goal, and 2 assists. So a great day for her as well. Megan Harris with 3 shots. Caitlin Vassy with 2 shots, 1 on goal. Substitution-wise, you had Lindy Schaefer come in, 2 shots on goal, and 2 goals. Laura James, 2 shots on goal, and an assist. Kristen Martzel, 4 shots, 1 of which is on goal. Lauren Greer, 1 shot, 1 on goal, and Kelsey Wallen, 1 shot, 1 on goal as well. So it's pretty well spread out for Lebanon Valley. For the Maroons, Julian Brown had 1 shot. Allison Denton had 2 shots, 1 of which was on goal. Shannon McCarthy had a shot on goal, and it was her goal, and then Marielle Hunt had an assist. So quite a differential for the two, but I think there were some good things for the Maroons, and they definitely can move forward towards the ODAC match they have on Tuesday.
And once again, the final score is Lebanon Valley 4, Roanoke College 1. Lebanon Valley improves to 10-6, and they're 5-2 in their league. Roanoke falls to 4-11, 3-4 in the ODAC. And as Lindy said, on Wednesday, Roanoke College will play Randolph-Macon at 3:30 right here at Kerr Stadium. So hope everybody comes out and enjoys that match. We'll have a final word from Coach Brianna Banks. This is Roanoke College field hockey. And we're back here with field hockey coach Brianna Banks for some final thoughts. And Brianna, I thought Lebanon Valley got off to a little bit of a slow start, perhaps from a hangover from the game yesterday, but they were able to keep a lot of offensive pressure in their offensive third of the field.
Yeah, they, playing yesterday, going into overtime against Lynchburg, they did probably start off a little slower than what they are used to. We have to actually use that to our advantage as best we can. We should just put as much pressure on and get some shots during that time. So, they're still on their heels rather than their toes. But but our defense in that first half played an amazing defensive half, getting the ball out, keeping their sticks on the ground, coming up with a lot of balls.
I also thought Shooker had a real strong half in goal.
Yeah, first half she had a really strong half.
And then they scored, and then the first 5 minutes after scoring, you were able to get the goal back as Shannon McCarthy was able to put it in. So that had to make you feel good.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's those opportunities. We try to tell them to be urgent. If she didn't just immediately get that ball in, then we weren't able to capitalize on that goal. She got it in as fast as she could, and that's we were able to get that goal. So that was nice.
And then kind of got away from you later in the second half. So let's move on to Wednesday in the last league game. What are you looking for from Randolph-Macon?
It's gonna be a tough game. They're really feisty. They're very aggressive. But we're gonna work on the things that we needed a little help with in today's game. Our first half defensively we did awesome. Second half we moved too much as far as letting girls open rather as opposed to man-to-man marking. So we're just going to work on that in the next 2 days of practice, and we're going to make sure that we're able to do that. And we're going to just take as many opportunities in the offensive circle. And, if we win, we can go to ODAX. If we don't, there's not a good chance. So we got to work and play with as much heart as we possibly can.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to it and looking forward to a victory for the Maroons to go to ODAX, but also a 500 league record in regular season, which would be good.
Yes, it would be very good.
So anyway, we'll see you Wednesday, and take care, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
That was final thoughts from Coach Brianna Banks, and we will be back for women's soccer on Tuesday as they close their season against Randolph-Macon at 4 o'clock. Men's soccer follows, closing their regular season against Emory and Henry at 7 o'clock. And then, as we just said, on Wednesday at 3:30, the field hockey team will take the field here at Kerr Stadium against Randolph-Macon. I'd like to thank Brad Moore and Richmond Bramlett and Reed Hall. And we'll be back Tuesday. This is Roanoke College Field Hockey. Good day.